Hey everyone, and welcome. So, have you ever dreamed of heading out into one of the world's most incredible wildlife sanctuaries? Well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're putting together the ultimate guide for a safari in Kaziranga National Park that you will never forget. Let's get right into it. Kaziranga isn't just any old national park. We're talking about a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Now, that title promises some truly amazing sights, but yeah, it can also make planning feel a little overwhelming. But don't you worry, we're gonna break it all down for you, nice and simple. So here's our game plan. First, we'll give you a proper welcome to Kaziranga. Then, we'll dive into your safari choices, explore the park's 4 different zones, get into the nitty-gritty of costs and timetables, and finally, we'll wrap it up with how to plan that perfect trip. All right, first things first, before you even think about what kind of safari you want, let's cover some of the absolute must-knows about the park itself. So, what's the big deal with Kaziranga? Well, it's this globally recognized protected area in Northeast India, and it's famous for its incredible conservation work. Being a World Heritage Site means it has, and I quote, outstanding universal value. That's your cue that you're in for a truly world-class experience. Now, this is super important. Timing is everything. You can't just rock up whenever you feel like it. The park throws its gates open in November, and the absolute sweet spot to visit is between November and March. After that, things wind down, and from June to October, it's completely closed for the monsoon. So the main takeaway here, plan your trip for those winter months. Okay, you've got your dates circled on the calendar. Now it's time for the first big, fun decision. How are you going to explore this amazing place? You've got 2 classic options, an elephant safari or a jeep safari. Let's see how they stack up. So here's the breakdown. An elephant safari is a really intimate experience. It's just for 4 people. But, and this is a big but, it can only get you into 2 of the park's zones. On the other hand, a jeep safari can take up to 6 people and gives you the keys to the whole kingdom, all 4 zones. Really, your choice just comes down to the kind of vibe and access you're looking for. So how many people are we talking for an elephant safari? Just 4. It's a nice, cozy group. Remember that number? Because it's a really key detail, especially if you're planning a trip for a small family or a few friends who want that unique, up-close and personal kind of adventure. Now let's talk about where you'll actually go. The park is split into 4 totally distinct ranges, or zones. Knowing the difference is a total game changer for planning your trip because each one has a unique feel and offers different chances to see wildlife. Okay, let's look at the zones. If you're dreaming of spotting a tiger, you're going to want to head straight to the central zone, also called Kohora. The western zone, or Bagori, gives you a really solid 50-50 shot at some great sightings. The eastern zone, Agaratoli, is just beautiful, known for its water bodies and amazing bird watching. And then there's Burapahar, which is your go-to for a rugged, off-the-beaten-path adventure. Little pro tip for you, if it's your first time, try combining a jeep safari in the central zone for tigers with an elephant safari in the western zone for rhinos. Best of both worlds. You've picked your safari, you've picked your zone, so now it's time to get practical. Let's talk about your budget and your schedule. Time to get into the numbers. The price for a jeep safari isn't one size fits all. It actually changes depending on the zone. As you can see, the central and western zones are pretty similar in price, but then you'll notice a pretty big price jump for that remote Burapahar zone. Definitely something to keep in mind when you're planning your budget. Now, unlike those variable jeep prices, the elephant safari keeps things super simple. It's just a flat rate, 2,200 rupees per person. Makes it really easy to figure out your cost for that one-of-a-kind experience. You've got to pay close attention to the clock here because the park runs on a very strict, non-negotiable schedule. Notice that the elephant safari is a morning-only deal. You have to get up early for that one. Jeep safaris, though, give you a bit more flexibility, with both morning and afternoon slots available. All right, we have covered the what, the where, the when, and the how much. Now, let's just pull all this great info together with a few final, absolutely essential tips to make sure your trip goes off without a hitch. Okay, let's run through a quick final checklist. For a place to stay, your best bet is to find something near the central Kohora area. If you're driving in from Nagar, give yourself about 3.5 hours for the journey. And this is probably the most important tip. Book your safaris online and do it well in advance. You do not want to be disappointed. And there you have it, your complete guide to planning a totally incredible Kaziranga adventure. You're now armed with all the key info, from the best time to go, to the costs, to the different types of safaris and zones. So, I guess the only question left is, which safari are you going to choose, and which zone will you explore first?